What's up, guys? It's your boy Jeremy Jeffers, and welcome back to another episode of the Courtside Culture. Today, we sit down with a Wilson legend, the hometown hero who has etched his name in college basketball history with one of the greatest comebacks ever. From winning high school state championships to leading Barton to the 2007 Division II National Championship to dazzling crowds around the world with the Harlem Globetrotters, his journey is nothing short of legendary. Now a coach, mentor, and community leader in Wilson, he joins us to share his story of resilience, faith, and giving back. Please welcome to the Courtside Culture, my guy, Ant Atkinson. What's good, dog?
Bro, appreciate it.
How you doing?
I'm good, man. Can't complain.
All right, man. So start off, man. Tell us about your upbringing in Wilson and what were some of your early influences in knowing that you could be special in hoops?
Well, of course, I'm the son of Anthony Atkinson and Vivian Atkinson, born and raised right here in Wilson, actually. Grew up in, Saratoga, Stanford, so I'm a little country boy. Shout out to the Stanford people. But I think it just came along because my family, basketball just been running the blood through my family. From, Milton Atkinson to my cousin Charlie Atkinson to MJ Harris and all those people like that. So watching a lot of them come along, and then my dad being a coach.
Right.
At a young age, he coached at Bentonville High School and was one of the best JV coaches.
I never knew that.
Yeah, one of the best.
For real?
He was undefeated for like 3 years.
I didn't know that.
A lot of people wanted him to coach varsity.
I never knew that. That's crazy.
Yeah, so watching him, and studying his every move around the house, how he used to study film and break down and how passionate he was about coaching. And I was just always in the gym.
Right.
They would have teacher work days at school, and your mom could tell you.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm in the gym all day while they in school working.
Right.
So it was just something that I just loved from an early age. And, it just carried on to, me, being who I am today. The work ethic. First off, just having the faith in God. My dad's a minister.
Right.
Of course, and, actually, his whole side of the family, all his brothers and sisters are almost ministers, I think except one. And, just coming up in the church and realizing how important God is, in everything that I do. And just going from there, man. I mean, just carrying what they taught me at a young age, even up to now with my kids and my family.
Right.
So, I mean, it's just, it's something that's been very special to me. And even to have him down on the bench with me at Wilson Prep.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's my hero.
Right.
I didn't have no role models growing up. That my dad was my guy. He's my best friend to this day.
Right.
And, that's pretty much it in a nutshell, man. Just taking what I learned from those young ages and applying it to, what I am now.
So we'll hop right into you starting up the Greenfield culture. Everybody going to Greenfield. Obviously, I went to Greenfield. We all kind of mocked you going, you were the start of it. So what made you went to Bentonville High School for how many years?
I went there for two to 3 years.
Okay.
I left there my junior year.
What made you make that decision back then? Obviously, Coach Sauter was 18, 19. He was
19, 20.
He was super young, and so that's a huge risk. I mean, it's no culture over there yet.
No.
And you leaving Bentonville. I mean, give us the rundown behind that legendary move and why.
That's funny because a lot of people don't even know this. I didn't even know nothing about Greenfield. Like, I thought going by Greenfield, I thought it was a farm. And so, I remember I'm at Bentonville, and I had a good couple of years at Bentonville. For good freshman year, I think we could have won it, but, some things happened with coaching and stuff like that. And then, sophomore year, we had another good year. So I'm like, all right, I'm getting college letters and everything like that. So I thought. And then my dad come in my junior year, and he was like, I overheard my mom talking about, like, we might even make this move. I'm like, what move we making? Like, I got all my friends at Bentonville,
Right.
I got Bridges playing together. We came up since youth playing AU, middle school ball together, all my friends. So I'm like, nah, he ain't serious, you know what I'm saying? Because my dad been at Bentonville, my whole family been at Bentonville.
Right.
I ain't. Man, I remember one day he called me and was like, yo, we're going to take a trip. So we went, and I went, and man, saw it at Greenfield.
Right.
A random night. Sat down and talked to me.
And you didn't know Salt prior to this?
Didn't know nothing about Salt.
Yeah.
Didn't know he was a coach. Didn't know Greenfield even had a basket. I didn't know nothing. And so just talking to him, and man, like the stuff he was telling me was like, dude must know a little something. You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I was intrigued.
Right.
And so, he went out, he's like, love for you to come here, hoop with the guys sometime. We have all access to the gym.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, all right. And so on the ride home, me and my dad just talking. My dad was like, I think it'll be a good move for you. Like, I think they're going to take care of you. And plus, getting you ready education.
Yeah, 100%.
For college and your time management skills. And they're going to prepare you for when we can't be there. I don't know if you're going to get that at Greenfield or anywhere else.
Well, shout out to Ant Atkinson Sr. because that takes a major step back in that era when it wasn't a fad. Like that's a huge risk.
And him doing all the research behind the scenes, like how they say he's moving in silence. He was so cold with it, bro. Like I was sitting, I was like, where this come from?
Right.
And then come to find out, it was actually a lady at Greenfield, Miss Cindy Godwin. Love her to death. Her son, Justin Godwin, had did the same thing the year before. Benefit him with the Greenfield.
Oh, okay.
And so she was putting my dad on, like, I think if Ant come over, I think you got a real shot at winning the state championship.
Right.
His grades, everything like that. So I guess word had started getting out a little bit because my dad was telling people I was leaving. I still didn't think I was going to do it.
Right.
But then as some things started happening at Bedingfield that, just were, I guess, kind of mind-blowing as a kid to see, involving, different college situations about communication and what was going on with letters and the treatment of, I'm a point guard, but for some reason you moved me to a two guard.
Right.
So I'm confused, like we winning, but all right, whatever.
Right.
So after a while, I was just like, you know what? Maybe it is time. You know what I mean? So we prayed about it, everything like that, and went over, had another conversation with Saul, and it was a done deal. Honestly, sitting back now, older, wiser, more mature, at 41 years old, I'm happy I did it.
Yeah.
Not just for me in my career, but to see how it's helped you. See, Kobe White, Al Frales, Aaron Suggs, Kobe Edwards, all these guys like this. And just to sit back and see how much of a blessing it has been, you know what I mean? It makes my heart feel good because if I wouldn't have went and took that chance with my dad to do his research, who's to say what would have happened?
100%. 100%.
I think that was a big thing, my dad just stepped on that faith. Me trusting him.
Right.
But like I said, he's my best friend. He never steered me wrong, even to this day. So, yeah, man, that was a story. But a lot of people didn't know that. A lot of people didn't know, my dad was just working behind the scenes. He was doing stuff. And I remember a teacher came with me one day at Bedingfield, and he was like, yo, you believe in going to Greenfield?
Yeah.
He was like my best history teacher. Shout out Mr. Green. And he was talking to me like, it's good for you.
Yeah.
It won't no type of the backlash that came with it.
Oh, I'm already knowing. I'm already knowing. Like if it happens now, it's okay.
Yeah.
But back then, that's why. I guess was that mentally hard for you to make that.
It was tough because you saw a lot of people who you were close with change.
Right.
And I'm talking family members.
Yeah.
And, close friends and old teammates and things like that. And they didn't get it at first.
Yeah.
They were making fun of us, and it was cool. You know what I'm saying? Back then, I was maybe the only black guy at the school at that time, and then there was another couple other black girls, but it was a handful.
Right.
Like, that's what that's what
adjustment.
Saying, be careful over there.
Right.
Really trying to make it a race.
Yeah, 100%.
I wasn't looking at it like that.
Yeah.
I was looking at, man, I'm trying to better myself.
Yeah.
And these people are going to help me better myself. And I remember the first day I went to Greenfield, Miss Crook screamed.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God,
yeah.
he is.
Shout out Miss Crook, man.
Biggest hug, and that is the sweetest lady I've ever met.
To this day.
To this day. And, just feeling that, how they just took care of me outside of basketball.
Right.
Basketball took care of itself because I could play, but how they took care of me, education as a person,
100%,
and my speaking skills.
100%.
It was something that I don't regret at all.
So tell me what it was like winning the state championships in high school, and what did those titles mean back then? And obviously you just talked about it a little bit. I was going to ask you, what did Greenfield basketball and off the court help you prepare for the next level?
Man, the first year we went, we didn't really know what expectations to have because, like I said, I was new to it, and then knowing the history on Greenfield, just seeing how their seasons had been. They had been, to the final, not the finals, but the first round, second round, and they would always get it, and it was a missing piece. And I remember the first day I got there, Sala brought me into the office and told me "You're gonna be special. You can lead us there."
Right.
And
the infamous
from there,
speech. Shout out Salt, man.
Yeah, man.
The ultimate confidence driver. Salt will make you feel like you LeBron James.
Man, he put that battery in my back.
Yeah.
And I didn't care who we played.
I swear.
I didn't care who we played. I mean, I went out there and I was like, we going to win. So the first year, everything going good. We haven't lost a game yet. We get about around January. I'm like, God, boy, we ain't lost a game yet. I said, what if we go undefeated? But there was two or three teams out there. I was like, if we run the damn boy, we going to have to be on it.
Right.
Word of God, Victory Christian, and Gaston Day.
Mm-hmm.
And they all had like footers.
Yeah.
So whole year everybody was like, I want to see Word of God at Greenfield. Greenfield ain't did this, they ain't played nobody. I think Word of God gonna beat them by 30. So we played Gaston Day in the semifinals. We beat them. And then Word of God beat Victory. That was a big rivalry back then. And so it was us and Word of God. So the night before we in the hotel, I never forget it. We go to Salt Room. We had just got done eating, getting back to the hotel. We go to Salt Room. And they had the, what do you call it? The message boards back then.
Uh-huh.
So people go there and put their input in or whatnot. So we ain't had social media.
Right.
So people are going in on the message board. And I never looked at the whole time in the playoffs. I didn't care what nobody said.
Right.
All I wanted to do was win. And that night, we were walking. We walked in the starter room. We told him, like, yo, we about to go to bed, coach. Just messing around and stuff like that. And he said, oh, yeah, y'all, they said we're going to lose by 30.
Right.
Right-handed guy, you can ask Salt, it's a true story. Him and his dad and his mom, his family in the room. He said that. I said nothing to him. I just got up and walked out and I slammed the door.
Right.
Salt looked at his dad and said, I don't think they should have did that.
Right. Salt knew what he was doing, man.
I'll never forget.
He knew what he was doing.
We was at Methodist College. And, bruh, Word of God walked by us. I was like, oh, man, ain't no way. I mean, they legit had like a division.
Yeah.
That like they had Rodney Pulley, Cameron Stanley, Adisa Tobin. They had all these guys that was like 6'10".
Right.
I think the starting lineup was like Rodney Pulley was like 6'4", 6'5", 6'5", 6'7",
right,
6'8", 6'9". Bruh, at the tip off, I still remember the video to this day. At the tip off, I'm looking like, boy, God, you ever gonna show yourself? Please do something. And we just kept it close. Kept it close. And, man, we ended up squeaking it out in the end, man, and beating them guys. And, like, we took off from there.
Yeah.
And then the next year, we came back and went and we went undefeated that year. Next year, we came back and went 27-2. And won it again. We beat Gaston Day that year.
Yeah.
Following year, my senior year, I was like, man, we're going to go out with a bang. We played Victory. And they just had our number. They I ain't gonna say they were the better team, but they just played better in that game. But that was tough. To go out my last game of my high school career. And I'll never forget, I came out of the locker room, tears in my eyes, and I was good. I was gonna walk. And I forget who it was. And somebody said, this is my cousin Paisley. And she said, Dad, this was that last game. And when she said that, it hit. I was walking out and everybody was right there. All the teams was right there because they would show us love and stuff. I ran back in the locker room and cried my eyes out. Because I was like, it's over. And me, Salt, Lester Lyons was helping coach then. I sat in there for like 20 minutes and just cried. And I came out and faced everybody. But winning the championships there, man, it was like, I guess you could say it was gratifying or satisfying, however you want to say it, because it was so many people that said we couldn't do it.
Right.
And to go out there and prove
did it, as far as all the naysayers from the friends from Bedingfield and all of that.
They came to the game.
Oh, did they?
They came to the game.
Yeah. They really didn't want you to.
Oh, no, I never forget the Word of God game.
Yeah.
My mom was going in at the end of the game. I still remember the vision.
Couldn't have been the sports betting now.
Man, she had the top of the bleachers. My mom snapping on the bleachers like, oh, y'all said we were going to. I mean, she going off. But it was just so, like, it was a feeling I'll never forget.
Yeah.
My first state championship. And I think it, like, solidified the move.
Right.
Like, this was what I moved for. Then my name just took off, and Greenfield name and Salt name took off as one of the best young coaches in the state of North Carolina on the East Coast, period.
Yeah.
I always had this thing, like, I never played for me.
Right.
I always played for my team, played for the school, played for the program. And I just really appreciate Greenfield for everything they did for me. Like I said before, not as a basketball player, as a person.
Right.
They made me a better person, going out, being able to speak to people in public, learning how to treat people, just just different things like that. Not that my parents did a great job of upbringing, but you are who you are around. And I was around these people, and they could have treated me any type of way, but they took me in as one of their own and taught me the things that they knew I needed to succeed.
Right.
They put me in places where I could be seen on a platform, and just like you said, not only the confidence in basketball, but the confidence to be myself.
Yeah.
And to be, I was happy, man. Like that's the main thing Greenfield me out.
Yeah.
I was happy. And you know how it is when you happy in life and happy in whatever you're doing. There's no better feeling.
Yeah, 100%.
So I just appreciate them for everything, and yeah, man. I mean that's kind of how it was, and we're a family to this day. Even though we play each other now in school, it's still a family thing. Me and Salt talk almost every other day.
Yeah.
Talking about each other team and the season and stuff, what's going on. So that bond, that'll be something that could never be forgotten. For a lifetime. Yeah,
for sure. So, what was your recruitment process like coming out of Greenfield?
Well, of course, I was an undersized guard.
Right.
And, but it's crazy, though, because a lot of people don't know my junior, senior year, AAU was just kind of,
just now
getting going.
Yeah.
And I happened to, run across Vic Sapp. And back then, he was the head of AAU in North Carolina.
Yeah, I remember Vic Sapp.
He was the man.
Yes, sir.
So he invited me up to go play with the Greensboro Gators. And it was me, PJ Tucker, DJ Thompson, what's my man name? KJ, and my man Rush from Greensboro Day. So we had a squad.
Yeah.
And we playing in all these events and stuff like that. The Bob Givens at North Carolina, Duke State. Back then it was crazy.
That was crazy.
Then. And all of a sudden I just started getting all these letters.
Yeah.
I'm talking about Carolina hit me up. State invited me and PJ on a visit. Campbell, High Point. I mean, all types of, stuff going on. And as a kid in high school, I'm like, man, this is crazy. How they were talking about like how the process is like you wake up in the morning, you got text on your phone the first day they could text you.
Right.
Like just going back through all that, I was like, it was like kid in the candy store. Like,
yeah.
they coming to you.
Right.
And it felt good, but I tell anybody, man, I was a gym rat.
Yeah.
Like, there was a time at night, 2:00 in the morning, I couldn't go to sleep. I'd get up and go to the gym.
Yeah.
And I think that was a thing too. Like, Sauter gave us that access to where we could just
100%
go work on our game.
That was a big part of my decision to leave Hunt. And, shout out Hunt. I'm forever a warrior in my mind. But it's just when you want to reach certain levels, you have to have certain access to be able to get better. And if you don't have it, then you can only reach but so far of a ceiling to get better. You know what I mean? So if you really love it and you're desperate and care about it that much, like you can't go a couple of days without working out and having that accountability and being able to get better.
That's it, bro. And I mean, just having that helped me, not just become, a more confident player, but, it opened my eyes to a lot of things because my dad said once you get to college, it's a business.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, you not going to be the man no more.
Yeah, 100%.
You're going to have 10, 12 other guys.
And for that, I tell all my students that now, and I'm sure you do, but like, you hear it, but you got to go through it.
Nah, for real.
Like, I hear you until I get on campus and you still got your swag until that junior, senior looking at you and you in pickup and you try to call a foul. And I ain't no foul, little boy. It was a foul last year.
That's real. That's real. And it's crazy because when we get to this part of the story, I got a story for that. So, the recruitment part, it was cool though. I mean, then in the end, you narrow down your schools where, I could have went and walked on at Carolina.
Right.
And when I look back on it, I kind of, I can't say I regret it, but I kind of wonder like if I would have did it, what would happen? Because the year I was supposed to go was the year Raymond Felton broke his wrist.
Oh, snap.
And so Stillman White stepped in, and I never forget the coach from Carolina texted me, was like, this was supposed to be your time.
Crazy.
And I was like, man, don't do that.
Crazy.
Because I was a Carolina fan. Like, I remember when they sent me the first letter, they reached out to Salt. I walked around a week wearing Carolina blue. I had Carolina blue shades, Carolina blue everything. So, I mean, just to go through it. But then, you narrow it down to where you're going to go play at.
Right.
And, I had to Campbell, High Point, and Gardner Webb. I think they came down to like my last top choices.
Right.
Gardner Webb came into the house, said some good stuff, but at the end he was like, we ain't guarantee you nothing. Like,
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah.
saying? I'm like, I respect it, but how you coming at me like,
Right.
I ain't, nah. Like, I told
Yeah.
my dad when he walked, I said, I ain't going there.
Yeah.
Dad was like, I'm glad you said it, because I wasn't going to let you go there. So then, you know, High Point wanted me real bad. You know, they had new coaching involved about to transition. And we had just played the state championship there at High Point. And then Campbell came in, and Rob Burt, shout out Rob Burt, he coaches at Chowan University right now. He was a little guard, and he was assistant coach at Campbell, him and Billy Lee. Man, he came in, he looked me dead in the eye. He told me, he said, bro, you could take this thing to the next level.
Yeah.
And back then, you know, Campbell wasn't winning a lot of games.
Right.
They were really struggling. Honestly, they were one of the worst Division I programs. But I was like,
No, you
I
gonna
just
play?
did the same thing at Greenfield. Like,
Right.
I didn't know about Greenfield. I go to Campbell and kind of put us on the map.
Yeah.
And so, you know, I ended up going to Campbell, getting a full scholarship to Campbell, and, you know, the rest is history.
Yeah. Well, we'll dive right into that, Campbell. That's the next question. But what was you were at Campbell for 2 years. What was it like adjusting to the D1 level? And what challenges did you face at Campbell? And then we'll get into why you left Campbell in a few.
I think the main thing, you know, when I went to Campbell, the big adjustment was the physicality of Division I.
Right.
You know, I was pretty strong. I was in the weight room with Salt and those guys at Greenfield, but Division I strength is totally different.
They men.
And my body type won't have me be where I was just, you know, cock diesel, so to speak. So I remember they had me do some upper body stuff, but I was doing like 1,000 ab workouts a day.
Yeah.
Because that was like the physical part when they put their arm on, you know, this could be different from college. From high school. So I went, you know, there wasn't a lot of guards, you know, that I saw there my first year that I was like, you know, I can't outplay them. But they were just so strong.
Yeah.
I had a senior in front of me, Dad Gray, had Tarek Johnson, Brad McKeever, I had all these guys like that, and they had been there, they knew the system.
Right.
But right before I got to school, I went to summer camp. My coach had gotten fired. They recruited me. So they brought in a whole nother coach, Robbie Lane. They kept the assistant coach, but they brought him in. And he did not like small guard.
Yeah.
And so like he made it real tough for me. But I just outplayed anybody in my position.
Yeah.
And so he had no choice but to put me on the floor. And so I just worked and worked and worked. But after a while, you just felt the negativity coming from him and what he was doing. And I was like, man, this man really don't want me here.
Right.
And so went through the first year, got through it, had a pretty good year, made all freshman team. I think I got was it MVP of the team? I got MVP of the team the year at Campbell for their awards and everything like that. So I had a good freshman year. Played 39.2 minutes a game, I think, if I'm not mistaken. So great freshman year, ready to come back sophomore year. True story. We walking on campus during summer because we were down there for summer school. Guy like 6'3" walking beside me. Oh, I think he's just a random student. So we walking. I'm like, yo, what's up, bro? Like, where you from? He was like, yeah, I'm Stefan. I'm from Florida. He was like, yeah, I'm a new guard. I was like, guard where?
Right.
He was like, I'm a new PG. They just brought me in. No coach ain't said nothing to me about nothing.
Sheesh.
Nothing. I'm like, oh, word. Bet. Text everybody in the chat, yo, we about to go hoop. I'm about to go and show him, like, what time it is.
Right.
When I went in there, I tell you it was personal.
Yeah.
Dude went out, mad, like,
Yeah.
I don't care. Go tell coach. Like,
Right.
you're not about to come take me. So then I went to coach, like, yo, what's up? Like, y'all ain't gonna tell me y'all recruiting? Like, what's
Right
going on?
over me.
Coach Guillory, Myron Guillory, shout him out, looked me dead in the eye, like, yo, it's the name of the game, man. The name of one of my guys, one of the coach guys. I was like, oh, okay. So
Right.
coach was bringing in one of his assistant coaches that he knew. He brought the guy in. So the whole year it started off rough like that. Started out real good my sophomore year, still playing 38 minutes a game. I'm good, averaging about 12, 13. We play Kentucky, we play State, we play Tennessee. They all smackers, of course, but I had good numbers. Like I think I had 16 and 7 against Rondo. Had a pretty good game against State and all these guys. So I'm like, all right, you know what I'm saying? We good. After that, after the Thanksgiving break, everything just started to change. I started changing the attitude, how things were working. And it affected me so much mentally. But I didn't tell nobody. I tried to handle it on my own, like, man, I don't want my mom and dad to come out here. I'm here, like, I'm just working my way through it. But it was so much. Like, every practice, it just seemed like something was just directed at me, like I was doing something wrong. And so I became depressed, bro. Like,
it's serious.
Like downward spiral after that. Like I stopped going to class.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't have no motivation to do nothing.
Right.
And then I had a girl, so that didn't help. I was just laid up with her, just being honest. I mean, just being real. I mean, just like ups and downs of college. And coach kicked me off the team. Like, you don't want to do what we asked. You don't want to go to class. Off the team.
I didn't know that.
Yep. So I'm just sitting
mid-season?
Yeah. So I'm sitting in my dorm room.
In December?
It was like January.
Sheesh.
We just got back off a trip from Central Florida.
Uh-huh.
Rode home with my mom and dad. They was like, what you gonna do? You gonna get yourself together? I looked at my dad, I was like, yo, I ain't gonna lie. I don't even care.
Right.
Like, I was at that point. I didn't care if I played basketball.
Yeah. But I relate with that story because the same thing with Drake. I mean, it's a business, but you still like, you're a kid.
Yeah.
You're a kid. So it's like, you know, you still trying to figure it out, but I can much rather you tell me, you know, now it's a lot different because it's just they won't renew it or whatever, they're recruited up. But like back then, you was thinking, you know, you was there for 4.
Yeah.
So it's like, just let me know that you're going to bring somebody else in and you might want to find a new location instead of drag me around for a year and now I'm depressed and now I got to the point. It don't matter. You know, coaches always tell you, well, work hard. I feel like if I go in the gym at 3 in the morning, 5 in the morning, 7 in the morning, it's not going to matter because your mind is made up on who you want to do. So you could have done me the common courtesy. Again, depressed. And I got to the point where it was my last year at Drake, and I was like, I could literally just finish my degree. And, you know, you walking on campus, and that beach volleyball look nice over there. They having a good time.
Oh. I mean, so my dad was worried.
Yeah.
Man, he called me one night. We were at a talent show.
Yeah.
I ain't thinking about no basketball.
Having a great time.
A talent show party. My dad called me like, man, you good, man? I just want to call check. I know you're going through a lot. I said, Dad, I'm great. So my cousin Charlie called me. He was like, man, your dad said, you know what I'm saying, some stuff happened with the coach or whatnot. I said, Charlie, I'm good.
Right.
Like, I'm enjoying being a student.
Yeah, 100%.
And so, you know, I sat down, enjoyed it for about a week and a half. And I went back in the gym and played with some intramural guys. And they was like, bro, you should be playing, bro. They said it ain't right. I said, man, just transfer, go to another school. I'm like, man, I ain't trying to go through all that.
Right.
I'm not doing that. Came back home. Once again, Salt and my dad, they took me to a Barton game.
Mm-hmm.
So that year, Barton was losing Tim Black, an All-American point guard.
Mm-hmm.
So we sitting there. I'm like, got some talent. All right, I might come rock out back for the home team, but I'm like, I don't know. Leaving C-Tail Sauter, if he want to come back, I want it.
Right.
So everything from there switched my whole mindset. Even while I'm at Campbell, I start back going to class, start getting my grades. Now I got new motivation. I'm like, man, I'm about to get up out of here.
Right.
Back in the gym by myself, you know, off time, I go play with the guys in the spring, hooping with them, just make sure I'm on my stuff. Man, I go and try to get the release from the guy at Campbell, the president, the athletic director. I shouldn't give it to you. Why should I give it to you? I'm like, what you talking about? Like, I ain't done nothing to you.
Right.
Like, I was doing wrong. Like, I'm just trying to get out of here, get out of y'all way so y'all can bring in whoever.
Right.
He called my dad, everybody. Like, his wife refereed the night at Barton.
Mm-hmm.
He sees my dad.
Mm-hmm.
He came over to my dad and told my dad the same thing. Like, I don't have to do it, but I'm gonna let him go. Like we owe him something.
Right.
When I tell you I had a different motivation to prove them, not to so much prove them wrong. And I tell my team this now. It's not so much I'm trying to prove you wrong. I'm just trying to prove myself right.
Right.
That you're gonna miss me when I'm gone.
Right.
And you're gonna feel it.
Right.
And then, you know, just going back and finishing up at Campbell. But it was rough. I tell anybody, like, Division I's different. But now today's Division I, man.
Yeah.
It's really a business. Like,
right.
It wasn't a business like that back then.
Yeah.
It was a business, but now it's different. But I mean, going to Division I, it was good. Like I mean, I don't have no regrets. I don't. Right. I love the fact that I went and I experienced it.
Yeah.
What it was like. And I tell anybody, like, there's nothing wrong with Division II.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with Division III because Division II what made me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There was I come to find out there was a lot of Division I guys that should have been Division I coming down to Division II
100%.
as we got on in the playoffs. So I mean, you know, it's a part of the journey.
Yeah.
But I loved it, and I think my saving grace was just that rocket foundation that I had in Jesus Christ too.
Right.
A lot of prayers at night, you know, just asking God for guidance. And my dad doing the same thing, and you know, just getting back focused. Sometimes, you know, we get off track when you go to
Right.
college, but I
You
think
finding yourself at the
I
same
think I
time.
needed it too.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I used to be at home and around my
Yeah.
mom and dad so much. So I had to find out, like, if this is really what I want to
Yeah,
do.
100%.
And I think that's why God had me go through that. So
That's dope. That's dope. Huh? Let's get that. So moving on to you choosing Barton, you left a lasting legacy there, man. 7th on their all-time scoring list, 2nd in career assists, inducted into the Barton Hall of Fame in 2017. You know, why was Barton the spot for you?
that's a great question, man. Coach Levency recruited me as a freshman at Bedingfield. You know, because back then Barton used to have those elite camps, and my dad used to take me to them all the time. And we used to go watch Barton games all the time. I used to go to all the summer camps and everything. And Coach Levency followed me from a freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. Even when I was at Campbell, he would come down and work the camp with the guy, with the coaches in the summer. So every summer I was seeing him.
Right.
He was seeing me. And he actually told the new coach coming in, Robert Lane, he told him, he said, you got yourself a gym here. Like, take care of him. And I could see the coach kind of be like, yeah, all right, you
Right.
5'9", what you trying to tell me?
Yeah.
But, I mean, just little stuff like that always stuck with me. So when I went and talked to Coach Levenson, you know, he told me, he said, I just lost an All-American point guard. He said, I feel like you could be as special or more special than him.
Right.
And once again, that battery was put in my back.
Yeah.
And that's what I needed to hear. And he told me, he said, it's your show. And I came in, and also the fact of coming back home.
Right.
Having a chance to bring something back home and in entertainment, so to speak, and the joy of playing the game again.
Right.
And that's something I tell kids nowadays. Like, if you don't love it, if you don't got no joy with it, like, don't do it.
Right.
Because I hate, me as a coach, I hate coaching energy.
Right.
And that's one thing, like, when I walk in the gym, it's on. Like, we hooping, we playing, and I love the crowd.
Right.
And I knew coming back home, man, everybody about to be at the game. I remember I told the guys, we about to play Mount Olive my first year at Barton. They were like, yeah, Mount Olive game be crazy. I was like, yeah, it's about to be even crazier tonight. I got all my people coming.
Right.
They were like, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Came out, girls game, swole, sold out. They was like, yo.
Crazy.
Rocking. But there was a sense of pride in that too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this for my city. We playing for the city. It meant a little bit more. And like I said, just that home feeling, man, like that foundation. You know, you hear me talk about the foundation a whole lot. Coming back to that foundation where my family's around and that support, I needed that.
Yeah.
And Barton just, you know, so to speak, happened, you know, just feed off of that, and, you know, they benefited from it.
Right.
And I benefited from them giving me a second chance. So coming back home and playing for the hometown, man, it was a different vibe. It was a different, you know, motivation for me, and I was ready to go. I was like, let's
About to say that hunger has been built up for all of those years.
Yeah.
And, man, like, again, that D1 getting recruited over low, or just the business of D1, it'll take you to another place as a 19-year-old kid, you know. And then, you know, when I transferred, similar along the stories, you know, we went to the national championship,
Right.
but we lost. But I mean, just that rejuvenation of, like, my coach believing in me and just finding the love, like loving the game again.
That's it.
Like, I like going to practice. I like, you know, going to work out, doing my extra stuff now. You know, it became so much dreading it when you're in that position. So, like you said, that fit is everything, and the coach, the culture, everything makes a difference for sure.
That's it, bro.
Yeah. So now you know we gotta talk about it. We gotta talk about it. 2007 National Championship game versus Winona State. Walk us through what was going through your head. My boy scored 10 points in 40 seconds. Mm-hmm. It was the craziest. It is the craziest. I don't think comeback ever of all time that I've ever seen and anybody's ever seen. What was going through your head in that moment?
It's so much backstory to it.
Yeah.
Because, like, my first year going to Barton, we went to the Elite Eight. Mm-hmm. We lost to Winona State.
Okay.
In overtime. Mm. But we were the only ones to give Winona State a close game. Mm-hmm. Everybody else, they blew out. Mm-hmm. So my senior year, I remember that summer, I'm home. I'm like, yo, we got to get back. Like, and if we get back, we're going to beat them. Like, that's the whole motivation for the year. Right. And we come out the senior year, they're ranked number 1. we ranked number 2.
Mm-hmm.
So we get to Massachusetts, crazy run, hit the game winner in the first quarterfinals, game winner free throw the second in the semifinals. Then we get to Winona State. I'm like, man, we on the big screen, CBS covering us. I'm like, man, but the game went back and forth. And we were there, and it's like you could feel the mood of the gym, kind of like they had started sliding the T-shirts down. Started moving the trophies. We're in a timeout. I'm literally sitting like this, and I'm watching it. It's like a movie. I'm watching it all happen in slow motion. Like I see them moving the T-shirts down there. I see the workers starting to slide down there the end and keep their fans off the floor. I'm like, they really think that's over. Like, but all this is going through my mind.
Right.
I'm like, all right. So I'm looking at the boys' faces in the huddle.
It's
natural. Over. It's like,
you defeated.
It's real.
Yeah.
I'm in there like, we got 45 seconds left. Let's get to it.
Right.
That's it for me.
Right.
So we come out, get a little layup, foul. They missed the free throw.
Right.
I'm like, all right, come down, boom. Spin move, hit a little jumper, foul again. They missed the free throw.
Right.
I'm like, all right, now hold on, it's about to get interesting in a minute.
Right.
So no matter of fact, I hit the jumper, Frails, shout out Frails, gets a steal, throws it to me, hit the and one. We down 1.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, it's
over now.
Man, I go to the free throw line and missing that free throw. It took me back to me and my dad in the gym.
Yeah.
Because that's how I used to close out every workout session.
Yeah.
1-on-1, you're on the line, no time on the clock, you got to make it. And you can see my whole body language. Like, I was just, man, I just choked. And it's crazy because in that moment, every shot that I made was a shot that me and my dad worked on when I was a little kid.
Uh-huh.
But Brian Leggett, shout out B-Leg, he came up to me after I missed a free throw. He said, yo, we're going to get another chance. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So I had to, all right.
Yeah, snap out of it.
Let's go. Dude went down, boom, break the first free throw, made the second one. So now we down 2. Get the ball. I'm about to set up a play. I'm on the sideline. I won't throw it to nobody, but I'm going to still set up a play.
Right.
I heard my man Mark Piscone say, don't you dare pass the ball. I'm like, all right, bet. Boom, crossover, get to the baseline. I see them coming up. So I was like, all right, I'm going to get fouled or something. So I go up, and as I go up, he moves out of the way. So I had to adjust.
That was tough.
And when I adjusted, I was like, I spin it.
Yeah.
And hit the top, something me and my dad worked on.
Yeah.
Hit the top corner of the square, and it went in. And then after that, it was a back tip. And we worked on back tip drills every day in practice.
Mm-hmm.
We hated drill.
Right.
Hated it. Came down, they dribbling. Back tip. So they threw me the ball. When I catch it, all I hear is everybody say, shoot it.
Right.
But as a guard, being mature, my first instinct was
look at the clock.
Where the clock at.
Yeah.
And what a lot of people don't know, and I still do it to this day, when I walk in the gym, I always know where my clocks are at. Mm-hmm. So I knew there was a clock behind the basket in the tunnel. Mm-hmm. So when I looked, I seen 2.5 seconds. And I was like, I can get there in 2.5 because like the other night, I made it down the floor in 3 point. Like all this is going through my mind in the time. So I catch it and I'm like, well, one thing about it, if it don't count, we going to overtime.
Right.
And we don't lose in overtime because we were 9-0 in overtime.
Right.
But I was like, if I make it, we the champ.
Yeah.
I said, forget it. I stopped. Everybody like, shoot it. And when I let it go, if you go back and watch the film, I'm going through. You can see me look back because I was going so fast. I thought I missed it. I thought I shot it too hard. Bro, that thing went through the net, bro. And when I tell you I ain't know what to do, I just took off running, man. Cause I seen Charles Gamble coming from this way. I was like, nah, Charles ain't about to hug me. It was a kid off the band. He was coming from me this way. People say it's what you dream of when you in your backyard in the driveway.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that moment would never be forgotten for all of Wilson, all of the basketball community. But for you, I know it's got it like, that's just crazy, bro. And it comes up every year on March Madness. Every year on Twitter, it pops up every time.
It was cool because the guy, Iron Eagle, he was commentating that game. Like, he don't blew up now. He do all the NCAA games. Mm-hmm. So they had him commentating it again last year, like replaying it in his mind. And like just to hear him and his reaction to see it now. But then to see all the people, but the funny story I tell people is the text messages I got when we were down with 40 seconds left. Like I had like 50 text messages come through like, bro, keep your head up, bro.
Great
you put
season.
on for the city. You had a great career, but you gonna go off, you going to the league. 20 minutes later, yo, but to hear like all the stories of the people in Wilson, and even still, like, I go out to eat sometimes, and people come in like, man, I never forget that.
Right.
Like we go to O'Cool's, they still got the picture hanging up on O'Cool's, like, and he was like, man, I'll never take that down.
Yeah.
It's amazing, man, and to see like, but I accomplished something that I wanted to for my city.
Right.
Like it was Wilson was literally put on the map,
and then I don't think people realize how hard getting there and winning it is. Like that's just not an easy accomplishment. You know what I mean? It's you etched in history forever. Like it's really, 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 really hard. You know, I went back for my reunion in February. I think it's been 10 years. Getting old, sheesh.
Right.
But but I looked up and I got our runner-up banner, and it's us in 2010 is like the only ones up there, and it's like. I know it's a crazy feeling to win it, but to get that far is like, wow, we really did something. That a lot of schools, it's hard. Every year by year is really hard to get to that.
Everything got to fall in place. Right. And like we had injuries.
Yeah.
Like I got injured, Alejo got injured. Like we get down there, we down in the quarterfinal, we were down every game.
Yeah.
Like we had 9 overtime wins that year. Like we had so much stuff that could have went the other way.
Right.
That could have deterred that. But I tell people, man, when this guy's playing, you can't stop it.
100%.
Yeah, but it's crazy, bro. It's still to this day I get chill bumps just talking about it because I lived it.
Yeah. Right. It's different. That's what I'm saying.
That
was you on that camera.
And then people be like, it'd be funny because people see me. I was playing with the Globetrotters and somebody saw me from Winona State. We were from Minnesota. And they came like, you the guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, what you talking about?
Yeah.
They was like, and they opened up their shirt and it said one on the stage.
Yeah.
I was like, man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. He was like,
I had to do it to you, bro.
He was like, man, that was the most amazing thing I ever seen.
Yeah.
And it was crazy because the commentators, like Brian Gumba and all them, they switched to a Division I game. They didn't watch the whole celebration for us. They switched to a Division I game, and they were mad.
Yeah.
They were like, yo, no, we want to stay here. Like, let us watch everything unfold. Right. Like, that celebration, it was amazing, bro. Because people, this true story, flying up to Massachusetts, nobody knew who we were.
Right.
We in the airport with our suits on, walking through. Everybody was like, who y'all?
Yeah.
We landed in Raleigh-Durham. When we came back through the airport, like people in the airport like going crazy.
That's crazy.
Coach was like, ain't it amazing how quick things can turn around?
Yeah.
I was like, that is crazy.
Yeah, that is.
We had a police escort, but the love that the city showed.
Yeah.
When we got back on campus, you talk about almost 3,000 people just on the lawn, helicopters flying the ground, TV, WREL right there interviewing us. I'm like, man, this is what it's
supposed to be like.
Right here.
That's dope.
So it's something I never forget.
Yeah. That's fine. So after Barton, how did the opportunity for the Harlem Globetrotters come about?
So of course, everybody telling me, you're gonna go to the league, you're gonna go to the league. So, I went to a couple of tryouts or whatnot, for some overseas stuff. We didn't have a lot of connections for people in the league. And I think, I put the NBA draft was coming on. Now on boards, there were boards that were out there that said, Phoenix Suns were gonna take me at 59. My dad knew the whole time, like, you ain't got no invite to Phoenix team training camp. They ain't gonna take you. But he knew it, but he didn't want to tell me.
Right.
So the whole draft go by, and it was like, boom, I ain't get drafted. I was like, Dad, what now? I remember for a week, I sat at home in the house for a week. I was crying. I was like, man, I ain't going to the league. I did all that. I can't even get a shot at the league. My dad came in my room. He said, man, quit pouting. He said, man, it is what it is. He said, you got other opportunities. He said, get back in the gym, get back focused in your Bible. He said, let's do what we got to do.
I'm going to stop and ask a question in the mix of this. The mental health part of being highly successful and then leaving that, like, it's been success your whole life. So did you feel pressure like right after it was over, like I feel like I have to do something, or I'm gonna feel like everybody's expecting me to do something. Talk about that pressure.
Yes, because just won a national championship. Went to the ESPYs. Got nominated for the ESPYs. We flew out to the ESPYs. So I'm like, man, something
Like
got to pop.
yeah.
You know what I mean? And all my little cousins, I got Aaron subs coming up behind me. I got, Frails and them at Greenfield now, and he's with me at Barton, and got other people coming up. You guys were coming up, and I'm like, man, I got to do something. I could be the first one. And when it doesn't happen, I think a lot of times we put self in the way.
Yeah.
And I think that was going on with me. That was my test. Remove self and just see like there's a bigger picture.
Yeah.
But at the time, I only wanted one thing. I wanted to go to the league. I wanted to buy my dad a church. I wanted to buy my mom a new house and car.
Yeah.
I ain't care about nothing else.
Yeah.
And when stuff don't happen, sometimes we question it. But the pressure is real. Like the mental capacity of it is real. Like, because not only did I feel like I had to wait on my family, I feel like I had to wait on Wilson.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like everywhere I go, what you gonna do now?
Yeah. 100. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like I can't answer.
Yeah. When you in the small town, unfortunately, and you have success as a basketball player, everybody comes to watch you play, and I mean, especially on that magnitude that you did it on, it's like you can't even go in the like you can't come home and work at the grocery store.
No. And the haters really popped out.
Oh, 100%.
Told you he was too small.
Right.
Told you this.
Yeah.
And so I just got back in the gym and I worked. And I said, whatever opportunity comes, that's, maybe my route is going to be a little different.
Yeah.
And so we in the gym working one night, me, Salt, and my dad, we in Greenfield working one night. And my SID from Barton, John Hackney, he comes in, he said, you'll never guess who called me. I'm thinking like, oh, shoot, this it.
Right.
Who? He said, the Harlem Globetrotters. I fell out laughing. Like, true story. I'm like, man, go ahead, man. What? The Harlem Globetrotters. And so my dad's in there like, crying, like, I'm like, okay. So he leave, and I think Salt had leave, and my dad stayed. My dad sat me down, and he started breaking down the history of the Harlem Globetrotters. He was like, man, we were raised off of that.
Yeah.
He was like the first African-American from the Harlem Globetrotters went to the NBA. Like, this is big, man.
Yeah.
So they flew me down to Houston, and we went down there, and I'm expecting them to do tricks.
Yeah.
So like the first 30 minutes, it was like we hooping.
Right.
I was like, oh, bet I'm in tip-top shape.
Right.
I scored like 28 points in like 10 minutes. I'm going at them.
Right.
Next 30 minutes, they said, all right, let us see your tricks. Looking like,
yeah.
I took the ball and I spun it on my finger like that. They're like, all right, what else you got? I said, that's it. I said, I just scored almost 30 points in 10 minutes. What you talking about? What else?
Right.
So I started getting a little defensive. So one of the dudes, Chris Franklin, we called him Handles. He was actually one of the guys on the Nike commercial. He was coming in with me that year. He pulled me to the side. He said, young fella, look. He was older then.
Yeah.
He was like, young fella, look, they like you, man. Like, just go along with like whatever they want to teach you, go along. He's like, you're going to be huge in the company. In my mind, I'm thinking like, bro, I just scored 28. Well, I can't get no.
Right.
But I listened to him. They brought me back to the hotel for the interview, offered me a contract. You know what I'm saying? Flew back home. And, that's how I went.
Yeah.
And, 12 years.
It was 12 years.
12 years.
So how did you maneuver? Did you always start as a lead guy?
Nah.
So talk about that process, because you had got to the point where you were the guy, like on the microphone, and talk about that life in entertainment, man. Because I'm sure that's a lot of pressure too, as well.
When I came in, I was what you call a hype man. Yeah. I was a rookie, and if the bench ever got quiet, they were blaming me. Yeah. This is like my first 2 months. Me and my boy, all the dancers were coming out there, like Soldier Boy, two-step, walking out, everything. Yeah. So I had another dude named Rocket. He was from South Carolina. So me and him was on it. Like, we up in the stands, the crowd hype, doing everything. I'm like, all right. So then, but I had been working in the background on what we call a dribbler with the Harlem Globetrotters. Dribbler's like Curly Neal. Yeah. Marcus Haynes, when you slide on the floor and you do like a dribbling routine, guy try to take it from you, then you wow the crowd with your dribbling moves. So I've been working on that, and I was fast. And dribbling was fundamental to me, so it was easy. But once I mastered the slide down, it was on. So the guy in front of me, his name was Scooter. He actually got hurt one night. So coach came to me and was like, yo, you ready? It's your night. I was like, yeah. And I told the showman back then, it was Special K. I told him.
I remember Special K was that dude. Dark skinned dude, right?
Mm-hmm, bald head,
yeah.
like Jordan. I told him, I said, hey, if I get this chance tonight, bro, he ain't getting it back.
Right.
So now I had switched from entertainment to competitive again.
Right.
That's the beauty of the Globetrotters. People don't think it's competitive, but it's competitive nature.
Right.
And I went out there and I dribbled my tail off. And I got a standing ovation.
Yeah.
And after that, I didn't look back.
Yeah.
So I was a dribbler for 4 or 5 years? I think. Yeah, 4 or 5 years. And I became the top dribbler in the company. And the more you move up, the more money you make.
Right.
The more money you make, your jersey and stuff go up.
Right.
On the rack, if people buy your jersey go up. You start getting on TV shows.
Right.
So now I'm on The Bachelor, Sesame Street.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, getting them checks. You know what I mean? I need that. I just had a kid. Me and my wife had just had Trey.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I need all that. So then when Trey was born, it was like another motivation. I was like, I can go higher.
Right.
So I knew the next highest thing was to be the showman. And that's like the Metal Lock Lemons, the Special K's, the Big Easies. And I was like, yo, if I get this mic on, it's on.
Yeah.
So they were having little training camps for being a showman. And so I went to a training camp. And everybody that they brought in didn't really take it serious, so to speak. I guess they felt like it might not be a moment for me.
Yeah.
I came in
they probably didn't think that it was a chance. Because a lot of those guys don't leave those positions for long.
For a while.
Yeah.
But I knew there was an opening about to come open. Because I heard they were starting the third or fourth team.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm taking it serious.
Yeah.
I was like, I know if I get that spot, it's a bump in pay.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there, I'm like, boom, I kill it in the showman camp. So now I go from being thought of as just a dribbler to a guy that can do the show.
Yeah.
So it's like, I guess the more you could do, the more valuable you are.
Right.
And Special K, we were in New York. No, we about to go to New York. The big New York trip around the East Coast. Hit all New Jersey, all New York, Boston, all those big markets. But Special K just decided to step away.
Yeah.
Didn't tell nobody, just one more on the bus. He said, I'm going to step away. Man, my coach came to me and said, yo, you on? I'll never forget it. We were in Ithaca. Nervous is on.
I was about to say they had to been super nervous.
My mind, I'm calling my girl, calling my wife. I'm like, yo, babe, I don't know. She was like, nah, call my dad. I'm like, man, say a prayer. Go out there. You're going to have your first show jitters. But I did pretty good.
Yeah.
But I took it from there, and I was like, I'm about to go be in Madison Square Garden in a week.
You got to figure it out.
The management was coming out to the next show. We played at the Prudential Center. He was going to judge me off of that show to see if he was going to let me do Madison Square Garden. Or they were going to fly somebody else over and send me to a smaller market. I told the boy, I said, we ain't going to no smaller market. Let's go.
Right.
And they believed in me, boy, and we went out there and we killed it in front of a sold-out crowd.
Yeah.
Then we went and killed it in Madison Square Garden. And they said that year in Madison Square Garden, I broke the record for jersey sales that year.
That's crazy.
And it just took off from there. And I mean, it was great. I mean, I met Obama.
Yeah.
I met the Pope. I thought meeting Obama was crazy, which it was.
Yeah.
But when I went to Italy, I met the Pope.
Yeah.
I had so many people hitting me up.
Yeah.
A lot of people, you know what I'm saying? That's their religion.
Yeah.
Boy,
you're crazy.
I didn't know, you don't know the magnitude of what it is until,
100%.
You know what I'm saying? You living that life.
Yeah.
And what God showed me through playing with the Globetrotters, he said, I know you wanted to go to the NBA.
Yeah.
He said, but I put you with a company that helped upstart the NBA.
100%.
With the African Americans.
100%.
He said, and also, you played in every NBA arena.
Right.
I played in every arena, bro.
Yeah.
And we sold out many of those arenas.
Yeah.
And people would come to us and be like, man, we love y'all more than we love our
travel
hometown
the
team.
Country and the world.
I traveled to 90 countries, man.
Yeah.
90 countries and territories, met all these amazing people. But I think the impact that we had on lives, that was the most beautiful thing of it all. To come in and I never forget a true story. We were about to play and we were done playing. We were doing our autograph session. And this woman came at us, she was just in tears. And we was like, ma'am, did something happen, something go wrong? And she was like, no, my son And was like, what's wrong? Like, did somebody do something to him?
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, nah, I never see him this happy again. So, we looking
Like, why?
but I just had a son.
Yeah.
So it's kind of hitting at home with me like
Yeah.
something ain't right. And man, the next words that came out of her mouth, like, just tore me up. And she said, this my son last week to live because he got cancer.
Wow.
And I never forget, I called my wife in tears after the game and I said, like, what we have is so precious.
Right.
And we can't take it for granted.
100%.
Because I was telling her about the situation. I just talked to a lady. She about to lose her son.
Yeah, that's great.
And he's like only like 9, 10.
Yeah.
So he's not even gonna live his full life. But to bring him joy that night, that's what people didn't understand like about the Globetrotters. And that's what I even preached it to my guys nowadays playing basketball games. People pay money to come see you play.
Right.
Not to see you have bad attitude, not to
Right.
see you, lack of effort or going half tail. They're paying money, hard-earned money to come watch you play. And they want to be entertained because when we leave here, we don't know what people are going through.
Mm-hmm.
And I would have never known that if I wouldn't have had a conversation with that lady. I could have went out there and not took my job serious at night.
Yeah.
Gave a half-tail effort because it was a small town.
Right.
But I remember I told one of my management, they was like, yo, when the crowd is half empty, like, why you still go hard like it's 20,000 people here? I
Yeah.
said, because we don't know who in here like life is going to change.
Right.
I was like, why should I go perform for Madison Square Garden any other place or perform differently than I would for Barton College?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it was, it was a great, great, great 12 years.
Right.
And it's something that, I never regret. And just I tell anybody that's young, travel the world.
Yeah.
Go see different cultures, try different
sure.
food. Just learn, but because it makes you so appreciative.
It does. Of everything.
Things when you come back home, like just
Yeah.
a little glass of water.
Yeah.
It makes you so
What?
appreciative, man. Because
We just got back from Italy.
telling you,
Need some
bro,
ice.
Hey, man. So, I mean, you know
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So, I mean, I tell anybody that go travel the world and just be appreciative of every little thing you have here because there's some people somewhere that don't have nothing, man. So,
100%.
it was a great experience with them, though.
100%. You kind of just touched on it talking about the Globetrotters, and you had your first son during that time. Talk about family, man, and retirement, and talk about how much your family means to you, and did your wife and your boys influence your decision to step away from the Globetrotters?
I think it comes a point in time in a man's life where, like I said, you can't so much when you have a family say it's about me.
Yeah.
I got 2 sons, Hayden and Trey, and I have a beautiful wife at home, Laura. And Trey was getting older, and I saw it was a pivotal time for him to where if a father's not there, even though Laura, love you, babe, she was holding it down. Like, she went and got her master's while I was on the road. She was still taking care of the boys, taking care of the house, dog, everything. But there's nothing like, having a father there as a son.
Mm-hmm.
And I had missed birthdays. Every Christmas I would wake up. I had to wake up early, like 6, play with him for a little while, then I had to fly out.
Yeah.
Every Christmas.
Yeah.
And I remember, like, it was towards the end of my career. I think it was the 12th year. He cried.
Yeah. Tore you apart.
And when I went to that airport, I told my wife, I said, this is my last trip.
Yeah.
I said, I'm not doing this no more. And she didn't believe me.
Right.
Because she knew how much I loved entertaining. Right. And let's keep it real, the money was great.
Right.
And I went out there that year, and I was telling them, I said, this is my last round, fellas. Like, I was telling everybody, like, this is it. And I never forget when all my royalties had hit after the season was over. I was sitting at home, and my jersey check came through, my salary check came through, and then my royalties and everything came through. I rolled over, I checked my account, and I was like, it's time to send this email. Because I was actually supposed to fly out to Baltimore the next morning and go out again. And I got it, and I sent the email. And family to me is just, as God, that's family, that's basketball. And without my family, they have been my motivation through everything.
Yeah.
And, for my wife to be able to sit there and hold everything down like that, I wanted to be there with her so we can have time and build our marriage how we want to build it. and also to be there to enjoy little moments like, seeing my son walk.
Yeah.
Or cookouts with my
Right.
family. I missed all that.
Yeah, 100%.
I would have to FaceTime and see all the cousins at the cookout. I'm like, hey, I can't even be there.
Just small stuff.
Spades, like,
Yeah.
stuff. Y'all hooping back here at Greenfield. I'm missing, you know what I'm saying? Everything. So it's, family is everything, man. And I had a great 12 years.
Right.
I tell anybody, it was great. But there comes a point in time where you got to make that decision, like, what's next? Mm-hmm. And I always knew it was going to be something dealing with basketball. But I tell anybody to this day, I never thought I would be a teacher.
Yeah.
Like, and I never thought I would love it.
Yeah.
How I do.
Yeah.
But now coming back home and, being in the same school with my kids and watching them mature and grow up and helping other kids and being hands-on with them. I mean, it's God's plan, man.
Yeah.
That's my hashtag that I use.
Yeah.
I mean, his plan is better than ours.
Right.
And I never would have thought that, this would be happening right now, but I love it. And I love the fact that I'm home. I get to go home every night, sleep in my own bed. No more hotels, no more calling for food. I'm like, man, this is how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
But I went out and I did my work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I did my work, so now I can enjoy the fruits of my labor. But family is everything. And also, my dad had gotten sick a while back when I was on the road. And I remember I came home and I missed the whole process, and he had become weak. And just sitting down talking with him, and now being able to enjoy time with him and my mom and all my cousins, and even my grandparents when they were alive before they passed away. But it means everything, and I think that's what you gotta keep things in perspective.
100%.
Even if you're making money or trying to be successful,
100%.
It's great to wake up every day and grind, but you gotta have something that's your why.
And I agree, and at some point in time, those other things no longer matter.
Bingo.
You know what I mean? And you being gone, and for me, it was playing in Iowa and then playing in, Western Pennsylvania and not being home for almost 5 years, like literally just Christmas for a day.
Right.
D1, you don't get no Thanksgiving. No. So it's just like now, everybody, I feel like you like a Chicago guy. You business savvy. I feel like you a bigger city. I am. But, I enjoy going to Lake Wilson and walking with my mom.
That's it.
You know what I mean? I cherish the time with my family and my friends here that, I couldn't get during those 5 years. So, your morals and values change and you figure it out. You know what I mean? So you went on after, and now you're at Wilson Prep, where you won 3 state championships. Talk about the transition from the entertainer to the coach, which I'm sure was an easy one, but just talk about that and the balance between being a coach, husband, and a father.
The transition for me, like I said, I always knew I wanted to do something with basketball.
Right.
And I think the biggest thing is, like I talked about, the impact. Like, I'm around these guys more than I'm around my family. Mm-hmm. And they watch.
Yes.
They watch and they monitor every little thing that you do. And it's bigger than basketball, man. Like, we won 3 state championships. We had great years at Wilson Prep. But I think the biggest thing is, giving these guys, I guess, a different outlook on life as well. Because some of them were headed down the wrong path.
Right.
And if it wasn't for basketball, then maybe that text message at night, man, I love you.
Right.
I'm praying for you. Who knows what road they would have took.
Right.
And I think that's the great thing about what I'm doing now. And it's fun. I'm having the time of my life. People ask me all the time. I mean, when we first started, they were like, why you dance so much? I was like, man, I'm relating to these kids.
Yeah.
Like, I'm living through them right now.
Yeah.
I still got that competitive fire in me. Yeah. So when we go out to play, we going out to play. Like, I feel like I'm part of them.
Right.
But it's also relatability.
Yeah.
These kids love TikTok.
Yeah,
These
100%.
kids love social media.
Right.
So you got to learn.
I was going to ask you that. I was wondering, like, I didn't know if that was like an inner Globetrotter still in you.
Yeah.
The entertainment part of it. And I mean, you did it for 12 years where it's just natural to entertain. And so I didn't know if it was a part of that or part of, the culture of today. And so is there a reason behind the dance? Obviously you're trying to relate, but like, is it like you trying to get them the more relatable you are, the harder they play for you, or is there a tie to it, or you just literally just enjoy it?
The crazy thing is, like, I can't even tell you where it started. Music came on, and we just started getting to it.
Yeah.
And they were, and anybody that know me know I get down with the best. Like, I think I'm the best dancer in the world.
Right.
And so we was at a game, and the music hit. And I seen the boys, they were bopping. And I wanted them to feel like I ain't just looking at y'all.
Right.
We together in this thing.
Yeah.
And so I jump in the middle, and I start going crazy.
Yeah.
And then the crowd start going crazy.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I want them to know, I know what you're about to go through.
Right.
I lived it.
Right.
And I'm here with you.
Yeah.
I'm not looking down on you. I'm in it with you.
Right.
And when we do our little party boy dance right there before the game, that's letting them know we in this together.
Okay.
And but it's also entertainment.
Yeah.
I mean one night we didn't dance.
Yeah.
Man, I got so many text messages like, yo, what's up? Y'all good? Like, you know what I'm saying? But it was cool because I would be walking down the street or somewhere and people like, hey, we coming tonight?
Yeah.
We coming to the party. I mean, it's become a
brand
game now. And
it's a brand.
When you come to a Wilson Prep game, you know two things gonna happen.
Right.
You know them lights gonna go out.
Right.
And you know by the time that jump ball happen, we about to party.
Right.
And that's what we want. But also we're gonna play a good brand of basketball.
Right.
And like I said, it's just part of the culture now, man. You know, this is what kids love. They love the social media. They love to be in the camera. But what I try to teach them is do it the right way.
Right.
Like, be in the camera, but also at the same time, know who you are.
Right.
Like, don't change yourself for a camera. Don't come down and do something crazy just to get in the camera. I hate kids that search out a camera.
Yeah, for sure.
I can't stand it. But, you know, I mean, you look at Prime.
Yeah.
Prime went to Colorado, changed the culture.
Right.
It happens.
Right.
You know what I mean? And now you look at all these other colleges. Coach walk in the locker room at the big win.
Yeah.
They don't even dance, but they start hitting it. Why?
Yeah.
It's relatability to these kids, man,
Right.
because that's what they do. So, I mean, but it's so, how can I say it? I'm at a peace with where I'm at because I know I'm doing what I love, but also at the same time, I'm influencing others.
Right.
And, you know, winning championships is great. But like I tell somebody, when I die, when I leave this world, I don't want to be known for the championships.
Right.
I want to be known as, man, Coach loved me.
Yeah.
Coach helped change my
life.
life.
Made the impact.
Yeah, so.
For sure. For sure. When you look at where you're at today, what is your proudest moment?
Good question. Being a good husband, being a good father, being a good son. And I tell anybody, your character speaks a lot about you. I think I try to do my best to treat people right. And but being a good husband to my wife and a father to my sons is the biggest thing that I could say because my sons would be my legacy.
Right.
And when I leave here or whatever, I want them to know, like, this is how you're supposed to do things. Mm-hmm. And this is how you're supposed to treat people. And I think me and my wife are doing a great job with that. Shout out to Laura. Love you, baby. But Hayden and Trey will know their father loved them. And in this time, I think it's so crucial because you have so many kids that don't have fathers. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the biggest thing right now. I mean, I love being a coach, don't get me wrong. I'm probably going to go home here and study film already. Right. But there's no better feeling than waking up. And now it's even more special this year because I get a chance to coach my own son. Right. And so it's crazy. My dad coached me. Right. Now my dad's coaching with me. And now we're about to coach my son. Yeah. So it's amazing to be honest with you. But I think that would be the biggest thing, man. Right. My relationship with my wife and my relationship with my kids. Right.
So we're gonna switch gears.
All right.
We're gonna switch gears to just some overall topics we're going on in the game of basketball today. So being a coach and obviously being a highly successful player, how do you feel about kids chasing offers instead of focusing on the love of the game?
Oh, boy. It's a different generation. And I think if kids focused more on the love of the game, they wouldn't have to chase offers.
Right.
I think you have so many kids out here. For one, it's a lot of delusional basketball that's going on. And kids,
do you feel like that it's delusional basketball, delusional parents?
Both.
Okay.
Parents are a big issue.
Yeah.
And it's cool to support your child.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. It's great. But also at the same time, you have to keep things in perspective.
Right.
I tell my guys, if you are a Division I guy, there would be Division I coaches in here right now.
Right.
You are who you are getting recruited by.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. But you have to be real with yourself.
Yeah.
And we have to start being real with
them.
each other and not taking stuff personal.
Right.
Because I think sometimes you might try to share some insight with people and they take stuff so
100%.
personal. But it's like, I'm just trying to look out for you because I know what's about to happen.
Yeah.
And I'm like, me and you are some of the ones we could be like, we've been there.
Yeah.
So we know what, like, if your kid or child is ready for it or not. And if they're not, it's okay.
Yeah. And it's like, how do you, I guess the frustration in today's, like, why don't you think I know what I'm talking about? Like, I haven't been there. But we were also ultra talented. So, like, a lot of you guys, I'm not trying to bust your bubble, but I would much rather you apply to A&T and go experience life and, or go to NC State, go to the football games, have a good time, go to school, find out who you are, than you having to work straight out of high school because of you didn't apply to those schools academically because you just thought John Shire was going to walk through the door.
Right. And
it's crazy.
And I'm looking like, guys, we struggle with local talent.
Yeah.
And you talking about going here?
Yeah.
To play guys that they're legit getting looked at by the league.
Right.
It's a difference.
Yeah.
Like, but we become the bad.
It's a big difference.
Yeah, we become the bad guys.
Exactly.
Like if you keep it real.
Exactly.
But then 3 or 4 years later, when they find out it's wrong for them.
Right.
Man, you're right, bro.
Right.
I don't even want that.
Right.
Like, I want you to be successful before that.
I'm trying to prevent you from getting to that, to at least go somewhere and open your mind to something else.
Other things.
Yes. Because you never know what connections, who you going to meet. You go off to college, when you're a student, you can join clubs, you can join fraternities that will help you excel in life and not be in the same cycle of Wilson that your family or people that you know or friends are in that revolving cycle. I don't want to see you at a tobacco store. I'm sorry.
No.
You know what I mean? I don't want to see you walking out of there. I want to see you being able to hold your head high and become something in life. And if you're a junior and nobody's recruiting you, it's about that time.
It's hard.
It's about that time.
It's hard.
They're not going to come. And if you're playing on I hate to say it, but AAU circuit, we can get into that too. But like, if you're not on the Nike, Adidas, Under Armour,
If you playing in Rocky Mountain events on every weekend, it's probably not for you.
It's probably not going to happen. It's probably not going to happen.
Let's keep it 100. I mean, but that's the generation we in.
Yeah.
Man. Like, we the bad guys.
Yeah.
And that's fine. I would be that because you're not going to say that Coach Ant didn't keep it.
That we didn't try.
Yeah, you're not going to say that.
And that's what we got to keep doing.
That's it.
Is keep trying. Keep trying.
That's
for
it.
sure. So with the NIL deals and the transfer portal, what advice do you give to your players or in general about navigating this new landscape?
I think the main thing is know who you are.
Right.
And I always remember, like, you yourself are a business.
Yeah.
Now. And when you walk out here, there's somebody interviewing you, whether you like it or not. Always with a microphone watching you to see, can I give him 6 figures? Can I give him 50,000?
Yeah.
Can he be the face of my brand? And I think, kids don't understand that. I mean, it's rough out here, bro.
Yeah.
It's rough in today's age.
Yeah.
But also it can be beneficial if you carry yourself the right way.
Yeah.
And I told my son, after every time you hit a 3 this year, bro, you need to do something with your hair.
Yeah. Because
you don't know what type of hair deal you can get. Like, you got good, long, nice hair, bro. Like, I be hitting people up all the time. Like, I'm trying to get NIL for my beard, for my, it's real though, but you have to market yourself the right way for one. put yourself around people that can help you.
Yeah.
You know, got to be careful who you surround yourself with, because everybody don't have the mindset where you're going or where you're trying to go.
Right.
And so, I think it can be beneficial, but also at the same time, I think it's also killing a lot of kids.
Yeah.
Because like you were talking about earlier, love for the game is gone.
Yeah. Love for the game is gone. And then just the small things, the things that you mentioned that we learned at Greenfield, like we had public speaking classes, you know, and it was you had to get up in front of the class, come up with a speech, and if anybody laughed, it would take points off of their grade. So like you literally just getting up there, here's a subject, figure it out. But like for me, it's helped me to do this kind of thing. It's helped me to be able to go in rooms and maneuver and being able to. That's half the battle. Relationships is half the battle.
Networking.
But if you stuck in this you know, like you don't really know how to communicate as a kid, it's gonna be hard for you in life. Really.
I talked about the money and the levels to the Globetrotters. I made a lot of money because I could talk.
100%.
Like that, like you said, that was half of it.
Yeah.
They were following me when I was at Barton. Mm-hmm. They were watching how I did interviews.
Yeah. 100%.
And they said, you know how to handle yourself in front of the camera.
Yeah.
So we half the battle.
Yeah.
So we could send you into schools. We could send you on the news, and we could send you on the TV.
Exactly.
Because you know how to talk. There were a lot of guys that were better than me at Globetrotters, but they couldn't talk.
100%. And a lot of that is not just, you know, obviously we got the leg up at Greenfield, but it's also parenting. Yeah. People that you surrounding yourself with that's not correcting the kids when they're like, you know, you can't be friends with the kids, but when you're saying, you know, you're talking to them in the same tone, they think it's okay. Nobody's telling them that it's not okay. You know what I mean? It's just, you know, and I mentioned this on the episode with your cousin Jeremy, and it's like, you know, kids are coming here. What's up, Jeremy? You're 5. Yeah. Coach. Yeah. Where's the respect?
That's real.
It's crazy.
That's real.
It's crazy.
That's real, though.
So, like, you know.
That's real.
But for me, I correct them, but it's just such a give and take of, you know, now I don't want to say the wrong thing to pitch because they're going to go and everybody's so sensitive that if you correct them, then they, you know.
But also, that goes back. It's like I was telling my coaches. We coach them one way. But when they leave us, we don't know where they're going home.
Yeah, 100%.
Or when they're around.
And which is
so
75% of their life.
Right. We're battling that.
Yeah.
And I think that also, you know, those are wrenching things. But you're right. Yeah. You're right. You just got to be careful, like, you know what I'm saying, what you say, how you say it. Yeah. Who you around when you say it. And a lot of times, I've seen kids lose scholarships. Yeah. Because they cursing or their pants below their tail. Yeah. I told a kid the other day, I said, do you even know where they originated at? All the kids was like, what you talking about, Coach? I said, do y'all know where wearing your pants below your tail originated at? They were like, where? I told them, I said, go look it up. I said, in jail. Right. I said, look at what it meant. And they were all like, oh, man, like, pulling their pants up. I was like, y'all just doing stuff because you see somebody else 100%. Do it. But,
and that's another
But it's bad.
Like, that's another big thing. They're followers.
It's bad. Nobody wants to be a leader.
Nobody wants to be a leader. Nobody wants to do anything that their friends aren't doing. You know, heck, they won't even go to the gym without. Right. If my buddy won't go, it's just there's no self-accountability and no willingness to want to, you know, I don't know, man. It's a different era for sure.
Definitely.
All right, man, we're going to hop into some fun to finish up. All right. So we're going to start with would you rather. All right. Would you rather start a franchise with Magic Johnson or Steph Curry?
Let me get Steph.
Steph? Yeah. Would you rather take who would you rather take the last shot? Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, or KD?
Me and Mike.
Mike? Would you rather guard personally Allen Iverson or Kyrie Irving?
Oh, boy. I gotta go Iverson. I'm not.
I was about to.
I'm not guarding Kyrie.
I'm good on Iverson, bro. You can hit the pull up, but Kyrie, you moving too much.
I'm not guarding Kyrie.
Would you rather build a team around LeBron, Kevin Durant in their prime? LeBron. Would you rather play with Nikola Jokic passing or Giannis's dominance?
Jokic passing.
Jokic passing. Yeah. All right, now we got to go Mount Rushmore of point guards.
Ooh.
Give me 4. So you got Magic, Steph, Isaiah Thomas, John Stockton, Chris Paul, J. Kidd, Steve Nash, Derrick Rose, Kyrie, Dame, Russell Westbrook. You got to give me 4 of them.
Magic.
Okay.
Steph.
Isaiah
Thomas.
Okay.
Oof.
That 4th is always a toss-up.
I'm a little biased. People might not agree. I played against some dudes tough, and I got a lot of respect for. I got to go CP.
CP?
I got to go CP.
Okay. All right, we got to finish up with the grand question. Give us your all-time starting 5 NBA, your personal favorites.
Okay.
No position.
Got to go MJ.
MJ?
Bron.
Okay.
Steph. A lot of people gonna laugh at this, but this dude was a bad boy, and I really think he get overlooked a whole lot. I'm gonna go Larry Bird.
Ooh, top 5.
I'm a Bird fan.
Okay. Why? He was cold, but I'm just saying
he
why.
He was a winner, bro.
Yeah, he was a winner.
Like, Bird was a winner.
Yeah.
And he was a dog.
Yeah.
Like, Bird was tough.
Yeah, he was.
I mean, it was just something about him. I mean,
Yeah.
if it won't Magic with it, it was Bird.
Yeah.
So he got to be up in there somewhere.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm going to throw a big in there. I like Hakeem.
Over Shaq?
I just like Hakeem.
Yeah.
I love Shaq.
Yeah.
Shaq was
like
the most dominant player.
Do you feel like Hakeem was more skilled?
Definitely.
For sure.
Definitely. And if I had to go small ball, I'm going Hakeem.
Yeah.
And that's what I love to play.
So you got no Kobe?
He's on the outside looking in. I love him, though.
Yeah?
I love him, though. I love him.
No Kobe, but Bird is crazy.
That's the flip flop right
tough.
there. It was something about Bird, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I just really think
he was really good.
When
though.
people name people who was great, he's always overlooked.
Yeah, he is.
And I
sure.
don't know why.
Well, you know why.
Yeah, but I don't agree.
So whether you know why,
Yeah.
because Bird wasn't super athletic.
He won't.
You know what I mean? He was slower. It wasn't, you can't pull him up on highlights, and it's just like, you can, but it's just like, would I rather watch this or, Kobe Bryant, pump fake, reverse pivot, throw off glass. It just looked better.
Kobe was tough, bro.
Yeah.
And that's why when it comes down to top 5, it is tough. But,
Yeah.
I mean, he right there. If I had to flip flop, I'd flop him out with Bird.
Yeah.
But Bird, it was just, I don't know, just something about Bird. That's the arrow I came up off of.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I watched all of these guys,
Right.
but like when the true love of the game happened,
Yeah.
Bird was still going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
That's love. That's love. Anything else you want to say to the people out there?
nah, man. I mean, I think first off, thank you for having me on.
Of course.
Second off, to all the kids out there aspiring to go somewhere, college or in life, number one, keep God first. Without him, you will not be nothing. Number two, get your schoolwork. Please get your schoolwork. That's half the battle, especially for athletes that you don't know right now. You need to be out. You can't have a 2.2
Right.
and expect to be going to college and expect us to get you somewhere. We can't do nothing like 3.0, 3.5, shoot for 4.0. I mean, do your best at all times. Secondly, always remember where you come from. That's the one thing I took pride in. I noticed what you're doing now, giving back to the community and everything like that. So just always remember where you come from and just stay grounded. And I think the last one I kind of hit on just now, just stay humble.
Yeah.
Stay humble and, be grateful for every little thing because, the more humble you are, the more blessings God will send to you.
For sure. And I just want to, personally, man, we've been knowing each other since back when you were shooting at Betterfield. My mom taught there.
Facts.
I was a little kid.
Facts.
And we've been knowing each other. And, man, we've been, me and all my teammates and Pooh, you were the first one to do it and used to come back and play. And we used to look up to you, man. And to see everything that you've accomplished and what you've become for our city is very motivational. You know what I mean? So, I know from your perspective, you don't get a lot of flowers. It's still hate to this day.
To this day.
You get praise from certain people, but I know the shoes that you're in, and
Yeah.
and I just want to tell you personally that, you know, I appreciate you doing what you did, and even setting the example all over, father, you know, coach, player, and just overall big bro. So
Appreciate it, man.
appreciate you, bro.
Much love to you as
And
well.
thank you for coming on.
Of course.
And thank you guys for watching this episode of the Courtside Culture. Make sure you go follow us on all social media and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Courtside Culture. And we'll see you on the next episode.